As we go through our relationships, chances are we're usually working through conflicts. And one way to understand these conflicts is through what the textbook calls dialectical tensions. Dialectical tensions are conflicts that arise when two opposing or incompatible forces exist simultaneously. So here, they suggest that the struggle to manage the dialectical tensions creates the most powerful dynamics in relationship communication. So let's take a look at three dialectical tensions so we can make better sense of this dynamic. The conflicting desires for both dependence and independence are embodied by the connection autonomy dialectic. So, research on the relational breakup demonstrates that the consequences for relational patterns who can't find a way to manage this tension. Some of the most common reasons for relationship breakups involve failure of partners to satisfy each other's needs connection. So, we barely spent any time together, or she wasn't committed to the relationship, or we just had different needs. But other relational complaints involve excessive demands for connection. I was feeling trapped. I needed more freedom. Perhaps not surprisingly, some research suggests that men value autonomy in relationships more than women do, whereas women tend to value connection and commitment. Another dialectical tension is the openness versus privacy. The need to disclose, we also have an equally important drive to maintain some space between ourselves and others. This is the hallmark of the openness privacy dialectic. Even the strongest interpersonal relationships require distance. Lovers may go through periods of much sharing and periods of relative withdrawal. Likewise, they experience periods of passion and then periods of little physical contact. Friends have times of high disclosure when they share almost everything together and disengage for a few days, months, or even years. An interesting wrinkle regarding the openness and privacy dialectic is the use of social media. And think about how some folks like to share everything on their social media, and some folks really do not share anything. When you have one person that shares everything and another person that shares nothing, well, there's going to be a conflict there, and that needs to be negotiated. But I think these are things that we need to negotiate between the two partners involved to get a better understanding as to what makes each other tick. So the openness and privacy dialectic has expanded due to the use of social media. Now, next we have the predictability versus novelty. So stability is an important need in a relationship, but too much of that can lead to feelings of staleness. So the predictability novelty dialectic reflects this tension. So although too much familiarity can lead to the risk of boredom and stagnation, nobody wants a completely unpredictable relational partner. Too many surprises can threaten the foundation upon which the relationship is based. Things that we may hear in this dialectical tension is, "You are not the person I married." So the challenge for communicators is to juggle the desire for predictability with the desire for novelty that keeps the relationship fresh and interesting. So here we looked at the three primary dialectical tensions: connection autonomy, openness and privacy, and predictability and novelty. Now a challenge we have is, how do we manage these dialectical tensions? Now here we have a variety of different categories that help us understand how to manage, but one in particular, the reaffirmation, which is the last one here on our list, is what I want us to think about here for a moment. Now reaffirmation, this strategy acknowledges that dialectical tensions will never disappear. So we have to embody that these kind of tensions will be with us in our relationships for as long as the relationship lasts. So instead of trying to make them go away, reaffirming communicators accept or even embrace that the challenges that the tensions present. So the metaphorical view of relational life is kind of like a roller coaster that reflects this strategy, and communicators who use the reaffirmation view dialectical tensions as just part of the ride. Just going part of the ride also embodies the ebb and flow of relationships we talked about in Mark Knapp's model. And that's really the interesting dynamic in relations, is that they all have a rhythm, an ebb and a flow, and we just have to accept that, things are going to happen, both positive and negative. And if we accept that, we're able to better manage these two swings on the pendulum.